for joining us. I know things are really like parang high velocity right now as we move towards the moment of truth, the trial of the century in many ways, the first Asian leader to officially face confirmation of charges. And as we discussed earlier, mukhang it's very possible na eto na, there'll be massive mobilization inside of Duterte. There will be counter mobilization by supporters of the witnesses. The witnesses, some of them will be there. I understand you will be there. I also understand that probably the authorities are also on the edge. But before we go to that quite grim and difficult topic, although fingers crossed, I think mataas pa rin ang chance that things will move in the right direction in terms of justice. Attorney Christina Conti, balikan natin yung ating minamahal na Pilipinas in the meantime. Let's talk about the Senate. What a performance, right? I mean, our super objective Mark Oleta, the moment na sinabi ni Soto na, di ba appointed kayo ni Duterte dun sa mga DPWH na in charge ng nagbibigay ng lisensya sa contractors, biglang Mark Oleta, I think we're out of time with it, son. What do you think of the hearing?
Ah, Senatory, kasi kumbaga these are things that we kind of know. Pero yung talagang kumbaga ma-confirm na hindi na lang to chismis, hindi na lang to parang so kahit paano parang may mabubunot ng tinig, alam ko na to. Kaya
Right.
lang nakakagalit
Yeah,
na
yeah.
nakikita ko nga yung iba nagpo-post na tara punta na tayo saan? Sa EDSA.
Right.
Just to expend some steam or to turn whatever anger you have into action. So hindi ko na maintindihan kasi even with the House investigations, di ba, parang nag-overlap din sila. Parang ang lumalabas, walang malinis. So, yun yung...
50 shades. Ayan, 50 shades of gray.
Parang, di ba ikaw, alam mo yung itsura, yung kay Spider-Man na, yung Spider-Man, yung meme.
Yes.
Parang,
Ganun.
di ba?
Pero yung isa Venom. No. Pero yung isa Venom. Di ba may Venom version? Yung Dark Spider-Man. Yun ang problema. May dalawang Spider-Man. May isang Venom. That's how I put it. Yeah. Exactly. Oh
So,
my God. Yeah.
I don't know. And this is the perfect time to call, actually, sorry, both the Senate and the Congress as a circus.
Yeah.
Even if you have good performers there, ultimately, what ako nga, ang naalala ko yung mga parang bloopers. Kasi yun yung tatatak talaga sa isip mo. Kaya for me, as of now, it may serve as entertainment or parang enlightenment to some extent. Pero ang tanong, then what do we do with this? Yung bottom line dyan, ay kailangan may managot. At buti na lang, well, in the case that we're handling and what we'll talk about,
Yeah.
may nangyari.
Oo.
Kumbaga, may kinalabas.
Let's keep the best for the last. Let's start with the depressing, tragic comedy we're having. And probably we can also talk about Indonesia because as we speak, I'm talking to my contacts on the ground. Things are looking really edgy, and I think people have had enough from their version of Grab drivers, Gojek drivers, to students, to the middle class. Grabe na. The system is falling apart very fast. Although, of course, I'm not wishing for any violence or anything. I'm just saying, Indonesia na nga, it's kind of reminder, if people really get fed up, it just takes one trigger, diba? And the whole thing could go on fire. But before we go there, let's talk about the bloopers. For me, one of the highlights was Bato de la Rosa. Not once, but twice asking, kailan talaga nagsimula itong ligaya ng mga Diskaya? Because clearly there were small time, to put it mildly, until sabi niya, I think around 2016, tapos talagang inisis, you are under oath. Can you specify, when did you start to get flood? 2016 po. And then you could see, suddenly Bato goes silent, tumingin. Then suddenly Tito Soto, 2016. like that sounds like a familiar year, di ba? And then the next thing you know, Tito Soto saying, di ba kayo, inappoint kayo ni Digong nung time na, di ba, bigla Marcoleta, oh no, we are out of time, we need to be fair. I love that. That was amazing. Like I said, hindi ko na kailangan magtrabaho. Like, kasi ako, hirap na hirap ako over the past 3 months. I keep on saying, what about yung 12,000 flood control projects ni Digong? What about this? What about that? Because my mayor from Baguio is attacking everything except Duterte era. So like I'm saying, like, wait, nasaan ba tayo? Good governance ba to? So, no, honestly, Have you heard Magalong talking about Farmali?
Yeah, he's been
Has he said
all
anything about
out in a
all
sense.
out? But
Pero wala pa
except
siya sinasabi.
and then I also love Jingoy. Jingoy, di ba convicted? Jingoy, really bibo, no? And then siya yung nakakadiri daw yung corruption, di ba? And Jingoy really going asking about the specifics of the car, saan sila bumili, and trash talking people. I'm like, the whole thing was
Tapos
just
Tito Soto saying na, ay tama bang rinig ko parang siya din daw dealer o may kilala siyang dealer?
they're like exchanging cards. Saan ka ulit bumili ng GMC mo? Ito, maganda, may discount
Alam
pa
ko
to
ba
eh.
yan? I can check that out.
So,
So
yeah.
parang,
Crazy, yeah.
but yeah, kung tatanggalin mo minsan yung kung sino itong nagsasalita, parang, oo, tama, may point ka. Siya. Pero kapag yun nga, you're looking at Jingo Estrada, who probably benefited and hindi lang probably, who benefited from the plunder during his father's time. Parang, ano ba to, papugian na lang, pagalingan na lang ng pagmamaskara. But nonetheless, kahit paano, nagpapasalamat pa rin tayo na hindi yung may tumatalab sa kapal ng mukha na parang nadadama nila yung ganitong population. Tumatago sa kanila, tapos
Right.
madadama nila na pag ganito, maiipit tayo if we stay silent or if we do something. So, magpapakabida-bida na lang ako. So, medyo gumagana yung bida-bida, Jollibee, Jollibee, behavior.
Right. So,
Kaya,
okay lang na...
sige.
So, it's good to be hypocritical.
Yeah.
if it gets the job done. It's like...
And I'm so happy to some extent that the Vizcayas are so truthful. Iba yung pagkakita nila, no? Bakit mo binili yung sasakyan dahil sa payong, yung lalagyan ng payong?
Uy, wag ganon. Splice daw yon. Pero 10 beses ko pinanood, I don't know how to splice that. That didn't look at splice at all.
She also repeated it again. So medyo tinanong ulit siya. Ako parang, grabe yung pagkaprangka nito. So
Oo.
in some way, consistent yung story ang nakukuha natin. Kaya,
Yeah.
siguro mabilis-bilis naman siguro yung investigasyon. Kaya lang ang kinakabahan ako, baka hindi maging cohesive yung investigation. There's one investigation as to how they got the cars, yung ginawa ng BOC.
Right.
Pero baka hindi siya madikit doon sa ill-gotten wealth,
Right.
so to speak. Kasi may punto din naman nga sila and I hope this does not. But I think hindi naman to tumatagos, no? Na they were paid for these projects, that these technically would not be government funds because they're not government employees. And that this is technically private wealth na nila. Pero hopefully yung mga tao na intindihan na kahit pa the very essence of getting government funds is that, or parang there's a public interest behind it. Kaya nga yung regulation sa tubig, kuryente, diba? Kontrata naman yan, public
Right.
contracts.
Right.
Ang bigat ng regulation kasi we think of them as public utilities. Paano
Right.
pa to? Talagang roads, flood control projects, certainly kailangan mas higpitan pa.
Let me rewind a little bit. First of all, hindi na siya British accent, no? I have conversations and very standard American accent. Although yung American accent ko, Donald Trump na eh. Wonderful, beautiful people. No, I mean, first of all, I mean,
Sigurado ba tayong siya yon o si Michael V?
yung nga,
Si Bitoy daw yun eh.
Like, ito, life imitates art ba to? Pati si Michael V, wait, parang binigyan mo ako ng second career. Because ang naghahanap ng second career ay si Edu Manzano. My goodness,
Yeah.
that guy is juicing it. Is he like Pasimflex also? Because some of them are AI, obviously. But some of them are not AI. It's like, oh, are you showing your nice apartment and your like nice Louis Vuitton? Come on, seriously, I know maraming mga medyo ibang generation na may crush kay Tito Edu and all. I know you're blinded by your desires, but I'm sorry, like as a guy looking like, dude, come on, pasimflex yan. Yung parang magda-drive ka, pero i-flex mo yung triceps mo para makikita nung...
Okay.
medyo medyo epal, medyo cliche. At saka medyo parang too much na. Like, okay,
Yeah.
you're funny, but no, but I this is a serious point I want to raise because a while ago you said Jingoy, all those people benefited from the dad's time. But Suddenly, I was reminded of, I don't know if you remember this person, Janet Napoles, PDAF, right?
Yeah.
I remember 12 years ago, we had the supposed 1 million march. Probably we were all in Luneta, 75,000, 100,000. Oh, Corina Sanchez was also there. And And then yun, akala natin yun din, galit ng tao. And I was looking at the numbers. It was 10 billion pesos and we called it the mother of all scandals.
How's that?
Kanina, I look at the calculation, we're talking about 10 billion dollars of corruption. So we went down like by a factor of 50, 55 bang exchange rate, 56. So my question here is, hindi ba dapat medyo lampas na tayo sa second stage of grief, which is outrage and anger? Medyo dapat nasa next, medyo parang stuck pa rin tayo sa name and shame. Obviously, shameless tong mga taong to eh. Kung hindi sila makapalang mukha, they won't be, some of them are still there in Senate or whatever. Like, hindi ba, attorney, I think we're past dapat that point of just sarcasm and name and shame. I mean, I do sarcasm, I do that all the time, but parang feeling ko medyo, ano na, I'm not saying let's go Indonesia, but medyo siguro naman past acceptance and into solutions na dapat tayo, no?
Yeah, kaya ang hirap lang kasi I understand na sa Pilipinas, we're in a survival economy. So there's
Yeah.
lots of things that you need to think about.
Right.
Yeah, galit na galit ako. Kaya lang, teka lang, ma'am. Kailangan ko pa pong pumasada.
Yeah.
Kailangan ko pang, they still have to do something. So, we're stuck in a rut na
Yeah.
sobrang dami ng issue, sobrang dami ng problema, pero iisipin mo, naku, gutom pa ako, etc. Kaya, may isang medyo nag-click sa akin eh. So, there was this viral tweet which called for, mentioned that Grab would still work in other countries. So, you could order food for the rallies in Indonesia. So,
Oh, yung solidarity.
Yeah, solidarity.
Oh, wow.
So you send them something and then there's a particular address. So parang ang point niya was that, well, this revolution will not feed itself. Although ang isip ko
Right.
doon, pinadala niya kasi tubig. So she sent over so many bottles. Parang, oh, that's not too environmentally friendly.
Yeah, tapos baka
But then,
kumita pa yung Nestle at
that's,
saka yung mga korporasyon ng
yeah. Pero yung spirit lang na, oo nga no, if we just get a core of people who will act and they are sustained throughout, kaya eh. And iniisip ko yung kailan yung last time na parang may spontaneous outpouring of like food specifically and yung kumbaga support, not just money. Kasi money, it's easy to give away kasi, here's my extra money, ganyan. Pero yung food that you prepared, that you ordered, na ni-refer sa'yo, ganito, was during the campaign 2022 when people were passing down puto,
Right.
siopaw along the crowds. Tapos, you don't care who had it. It would just transform that, not as an electoral kumbaga, exercise, into something else. Then probably we're looking at the next.
Solidarity, you mean?
Want to say it na EDSA revolution. Pero I don't know how it should look like. But there's one invitation I got. May run daw sa UP.
Right.
So I guess dun yung, kung galit na galit ka at gusto mo magpawis, pwede. So
Hindi ba medyo escapist yan? Parang just get the punching bag and get it out. Kasi yun ang worry ko eh, na we'll be stuck at this level of just letting off steam while letting the Titanic ship sink. You know what I'm saying? Like ganun eh. Parang that's my worry eh. I think people don't understand where I'm coming from. Kasi sabi ni Richard, But Richard, ba't ka ganyan? Naaway mo lahat. Kasi parang point ko is that I was at that state of mind 12 years ago and some of our friends were at that state of mind 40 years ago. Saan yung development natin? Kung ganun pa rin yung level of political consciousness natin. Like, okay, funny si Edu Manzano, but how is that gonna help us in terms of coming up with, I don't know, People's Tribunal, an independent People's Commission, right? I'd rather hear more from, I don't know, Heidi Mendoza maybe, about account. You get what I'm saying? Because, I mean, we're hearing all about these wonderful celebrities who are shocked by corruption and everything, right? I'm sure these celebrities never spend time with any politico. They're like totally shocked, right? This is like their, oh, okay, I'm great, fantastic. I'm glad that they have political consciousness, but hanggang kailan lang ba tayo na hanggang dito lang tayo eh? And that's really my frustration. You were talking about survival economy. Well,
Soft med.
Indonesia is survival economy. I mean, literally, the people who are now on the streets, ito yung mga Gojek drivers. Right? Ito yung mga estudyante, nakita mo, mas payat pa sa atin nung time natin sa UP. Di ba? Talagang, kitang-kita mo talaga, medyo, alam mo na, di ba? So,
I can imagine.
mga
That's
taga
why
Nara
I'm in
ng
the house.
University of Jakarta, yung mga ganun type, di ba? Yung mga old Nara. Yung mga itsura nila, yung mga taga Nara dati. Yung ganun. Alam mo na yun eh. Alam basta there's a certain profile, taga Nara to, di ba? Ganun eh. So, I don't know. For me, bakit tayo parati may excuse yung ibang bansa kahit mga pinaka-pobreng bansa or kasing may nangyayari Thailand, 'di ba? Gulo din ng Thailand. At least again, I'm not asking for gulo. I'm asking for change, real change. The only real change we got was Digong, which is for the worst.
So, actually, last year, was it 2024 or 23? Bangladesh.
Last year 'yun. Last year ba?
Last year, yeah.
Student team. Student led the
Student uprising,
revolution.
and then there was something changed. But from what I hear from them, hanggang ngayon, di pa rin yata nagkaka-eleksyon. Tapos parang same old. Kaya, yeah, I agree na the old mechanisms won't work.
Hindi na. Yeah.
Kaya we really have to look at new things. Kaya lang, we need to meet. Kaya these activities na pinananawagan, we just show up and see where we find time to discuss things, etc. Pero I don't know, with so
Yeah.
many other issues that we've recently tried to agree on. I did mention in one of our episodes ba,
Right.
February 25, parang
Right.
kanon bumuhos ng EDSA, but then parang nawala na rin yung mga ties.
Right.
Although there were some groups still
Right.
standing. I hear that one TAF, so the schools in that area, are still agreeing on so many points, and then they will mobilize. Oops, baka naman ma-preempt ko. They will mobilize or they will
Yeah.
help in some way dito sa September activities. But more for the...
Well, I'm glad there are going to be meetings like that. Because the meeting I heard is Sarah wants to meet Lenny again in Bicol. I don't want to put you into trouble, but kailangan ba yan regularly every year? I mean,
Parang poon.
I mean, how should I put? I mean,
It's optics, no? It's just for show talaga. Kaya,
no, I mean, do you
Iba
need to
yung-
meet Sarah to be nice? I mean, like, is it an obligation to meet Sarah Duterte after everything she has done to Leila de Lima?
Oh, okay.
After every, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
but from her personality, from what we know,
she's nice. Yeah, she's nice. Yeah.
So, ako, parang, to some extent, we need to accept Lenny for all her limitations.
Yeah,
Mabait
that's
siya,
one.
tatanggapin niya.
That's one way of putting it. Yeah.
Kaya, I'm seeing some people say that, yeah, I support Lenny. I would have wanted her to do this or to do that.
Yeah.
Pero, it turns out, hindi siya. So, maybe she's not the solution, or she's not...
Yeah, maybe we're asking too much of her. Sometimes sabi ko, baka nga we're becoming harsh because we're looking at the wrong wall or wrong tree or something like.
Yeah.
Maybe she's gonna be a great mayor, no question about it. But you know, ibang leader of opposition is a different ballgame, isn't it?
She hasn't been inauthentic eh. Parang wala naman siyang pinangako sa atin na hindi siya kakausap ng iba, na hindi
Sure.
siya mag-welcome ng ganito. She's always been for conciliation, and even during her time as not only vice president, no, pero as what's this, yung char o ng war on drugs. She was there for about a few months or a few weeks,
Yeah.
na trying to oversee the implementation of the war on drugs, diba?
She made criticisms, in
Very
fairness. I
unanimous.
mean, she spoke out. She said, mali yung mga ganitong parang. In fairness naman, I'll give that to Ma'am Lenny. Ako kasi, I don't know. The Lenny I remember is Lenny that ran for Congress against all odds, and the Lenny that ran for VP. Just go and watch. In fact, if you watch the movie, yung Kingmaker, diba? Which predicted basically return of the Marcoses, except it didn't predict that it would be Marcos and Duterte's together, which is even. So actually, that movie was not pessimistic enough. That's